Okay, so recently my Cubase, I use Cubase 5 right now, which is like a 2008 version of Cubase. So it's pretty old school, but I've used it forever and it's what I'm comfortable with. But it crashed recently and I lost like a ton of plugins. So a lot of my guitar stuff, like I would say majority of my guitars, if not 100%, are recorded direct into the box. And people ask me like what kind of plugins and stuff I use. So I couldn't like re-download or reinstall all those plugins that I lost. So I actually ended up getting a bunch of free plugins, some of them free and some of them not. But I want to show you guys what I'm using right now because some of these plugins are actually pretty powerful. And the silver lining of me losing some of my equipment is I discovered some cool stuff. So I'll show you guys what I'm using right now. And this is what I'm running my guitars through. So the first one, and this is a free plugin that I just found out. It's called the Camel Crusher. And it's got like I think it's kind of like you can get like an amp simulator and all that stuff go with it. It's got all these really cool presets and it's kind of like this crunchy, like a little bit of distortion. It fattens up the guitar. You can put this on anything. It kind of just fattens up things and adds like a warming element to it. So this is a free plugin. Check it out, Camel Crusher. And then everything else right now, this is just a Cubase reverb. This is the Roomworks reverb. And that's really nice. There's a bunch of different ones in here you can use. I usually go to the Hall Arena setting. This is a Cubase amp simulator, and I was messing around with this. I usually use like CLA plugins and things like that, and this one isn't that bad. So you can adjust a ton of things on there. It has like the EQ that's pretty nice too. Studio Chorus that I send my guitars through kind of adds like a little shimmery effect, have like a slow wobble. And then I still have the Oxford compressor. So I'll record some guitar stuff and let you guys hear what all this stuff sounds like. So here's with the Camel Crusher right here. You can add a little bit of the master, the compressing, which really brings that out. This is pretty cool too. I usually use like a one knob for a filter, but it's a nice filter right there. It's good for some kind of like lo-fi guitar stuff and then a little bit of distortion too. Now this thing can get absolutely crazy. It can get really, really heavy with some of the stuff down here. Like Ultra Fat or Destroyer. This first one, Annihilate, which you know, you can tell just by the name that it's gonna absolutely crush the guitars. But yeah, this is a nice one I've been using a lot. And then our Roomworks plugin right here. Add a nice reverb tail to that. You can get really crazy with these choruses, of course, like. Wobbly sound. I usually double all my guitars. Like I'll put this one to the left and I'll do another one to the right, and this is just another compressor right here. But yeah, this is what it sounds like without these plugins. So here, I'll bypass everything for you. This is just direct guitars right here. You basically can't even hear that, right? So I had the Camel Crusher, boom, throw a little reverb on there. I don't want to go too crazy with this distortion. Actually, you can pull this back. Or even turn it off sometimes. But I try not to keep that that weird rubbery DI sound, you know. And that sounds like a real amp to me. And again, I'm just going through my Focusrite right now with the Dan Electro, which is what I always use. So that's pretty sweet. And there's a bunch of free plugins right there that sound really good to me. So there you go. Enjoy.